Hello, students. It's nice to see you again, and welcome to my 41st episode of my online English lessons. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing quite fine, and it's still pretty cold here in Japan, but hopefully spring will come soon and we can enjoy some warmer weather and all the joys that spring brings with it, including all the nature, all the flowers and the trees and everything blooming and growing and giving us green and beautiful colors. And that's what today's lesson is about. It's things that are growing, especially flowers. I know that a lot of my students enjoy gardening, and a lot of them have plants and vegetables and maybe some flowers too. So I thought maybe you guys would be interested in learning about flowers. And especially, I have a question for today. And the question was, why do people like flowers? So before we start the lesson, I want you guys to think about that question. Why do you guys like flowers? Why do you like them? Why do you like them? I should say, why do we love them? And I think, well, in my opinion, for a few reasons. For me, I like flowers because they look beautiful, right? They're colorful. There are many different shapes and sizes and designs. They smell nice. They come from different places around the world, so they carry cultural significance and things like that. And but I think basically it's kind of about culture. I know that if somebody has flowers, they are caring for something, or they maybe got them as a present. So it's a kind of a joyful moment. So having flowers, growing flowers, I know takes time and effort. So maybe the people who grow flowers care a lot, care deeply about them, and they've raised them for a long time and they look very nice. So that could be another reason why people love flowers, is because it takes dedication and attention, but probably they're just very beautiful, right? So that must be the easy answer. Well, it's actually more complex than that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to start reading the essay from now. And after, of course, we have 5 new vocab questions, 5 discussion questions. Let's start. Okay. Flowers, why we love them. The question for today's article is, why do we love flowers? This is a straightforward question, but the answer is complex. Most people will answer that everyone loves flowers because flowers are beautiful. Beyond this answer, there are many other reasons why we love flowers. Flowers are beautifully designed by nature to attract people. They are called kisses from nature. That's nice. Kisses from nature. Poets have said that flowers are the sweetest thing God ever made without a soul. I'll read that again. The sweetest thing God ever made without a soul. Flowers have played a part in celebrations throughout history. Flowers have been used in weddings, funerals, church ceremonies, decorations on holidays, or even just a centerpiece for a nice family dinner. Flowers have played a vital role in our life, and the relationship between flowers and human beings is significant. There are several reasons why we love them. The first reason why we love flowers is that a beautiful flower reduces stress. Flowers are mood changers. When you receive flowers from someone, you instantly become happier and joyful. They are proven to lighten your day and put you into a positive mood. This is why people bring flowers to those who are sick in the hospital. Someone who is ill needs a positive, joyful mood boost. Flowers have healing power too. Of course, plants have been used to make elixirs and medicines over the centuries, but just gifting someone flowers has a healing effect. The fragrance of a flower has also been shown to improve some illnesses in people. Inhaling the fresh scents of certain flowers can cure nausea, which means like stomachache, and headaches. India still uses flowers and herbs to cure many ailments in patients. Another reason why we love flowers is that they show us how fragile and fleeting life is. Flowers communicate to us that we need to appreciate life and the beauty in the world. We take care of flowers only for a short time until they fade away. And it helps us understand that nothing lasts forever, so that we need to appreciate the beautiful time that we have on this earth. Flowers also show us that care is necessary to stay alive. This helps us understand that other things also need care, like relationships, our health, and our minds. Finally, the process of growing flowers gives us a sense of accomplishment and love of nature. It is an amazing process to take a small little seed in our hands, dig a hole and plant it, and then care for that seed until it sprouts. The dedication and maintenance that goes into the process of growing flowers takes a long time. And finally, after all our hard work, a flower's bud opens up and shows us its beautiful colors and its delicate petals facing towards the sun. It is truly a kiss from nature to the world. The fragrance of a flower is like nothing else on earth, and flowers give us joy to look upon. We can feel a great sense of accomplishment in the hours spent watering, nurturing, and raising a flower or any other plant or vegetable. That process gives us a love of nature and an appreciation for all things that grow, including ourselves and our family. The reasons we love flowers so much is their ability to reduce our stress, show us an appreciation for life, and give us a sense of accomplishment and love of nature. The colors and fragrances make us happy and joyful, as well as curing our bad moods. The short lifespan of flowers shows us that our lives are also fragile and fleeting, and that we need to appreciate life and the people around us. Finally, the dedication and maintenance that goes into growing flowers gives us a great motivation and love of nature. All in all, flowers are very important and loved by everyone, and the reasons are numerous. The next time you see a flower, make sure to appreciate its beauty and fragrance and enjoy your life. All right, that's all for the article. What did you guys think? So I'm interested to hear your opinions on flowers, and if you agree with some of the reasons why people love flowers. I said that the reasons are numerous, and it's true. I think there are many, many more reasons, not just these three, why people like flowers. So I'd be interested to hear if you think what are some other reasons people love flowers too. Let's look at our vocab for today's lesson. Okay, here are our 5 vocab words. Our first vocab word is straightforward. Straightforward. This means uncomplicated and easy to do or understand. In the article, it says, why do we love flowers? This is a straightforward question. So it's easy to understand, very clear. Why do we love flowers? But the answer is complex. It has many, many reasons. The next word is centerpiece. A centerpiece is an ornament or display placed in the middle of a dining table. So at really fancy restaurants, or if you had a family dinner and you put like a vase of flowers or an ornament or something in the middle of the table, that's called a centerpiece. Elixirs. So before medicine, or maybe really long time ago, they called little like potions or vials of something. They called these elixirs. The actual definition says a particular type of medical solution. Basically, what this is like a drink that you drink and you feel better. These days, people might call them tonics. or just medicine or syrup or something like that. But back in the day, long, long ago, they were called elixirs. The next word is fleeting. It means lasting for a very short time. In the article, we talked about how fragile and fleeting life is. And the life of a flower is very fragile and fleeting. So it's fragile because a flower can break or fall apart easily. It's also fragile because it takes very delicate and careful attention to grow a flower. I know that roses are very difficult and challenging to grow because the soil needs to be perfect and the watering and the sunshine and everything has to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, then the rose won't grow or will die very quickly. So the life of a flower is very fragile and it's very fleeting. After you cut a flower, it has a very short lifespan, only a couple weeks at most. So that's fleeting. So one more time, fleeting is lasting for a very short time. And this is connected to our life as well. Of course, many people live to be very old, 100 or more than 100, but in the history of the world or the history of the universe, that is a very, very short time. So we should appreciate the time we have here on earth and the time we all spend together. The last word is sprouts. So when a plant, flower, or hair shoots up and starts to grow. So of course, when it comes to a plant or a flower, once it breaks through the surface, that means it's sprouted. And actually, a sprout can also be used as a noun. And that is like the beginning of a plant. When it first breaks the surface of the ground, that's called a little sprout. We also call children sprouts. This is a kind of older expression, but sometimes people call little children's, hey, little sprout, or something like that, because the children just started growing. Okay, that's all for our vocabulary. Let's move on to our discussion questions. And our first question is very straightforward, very simple. What is your favorite flower and why do you like it? What's your favorite flower and why do you like it? Number 2, I think all these questions today are very straightforward and simple. Number 2, what flowers or plants are you growing now and how is it going? So are you growing anything right now currently, or do you plan to grow anything in the spring? What's your plan, or what kind of flowers, plants, or vegetables are you growing? And how is it going? How does it usually go? Number 3, how often do you buy flowers at the market or give flowers as a gift to someone? And I also want to maybe change this question a little bit. Like, when do you give a gift of flowers to someone in Japan? So is it for a funeral or a birthday or something like that? What's the culture of flower gift giving? So please explain it to me. Number 4, do you think that flowers are useful in healing? So as it said in the article that, flowers can be used for medicine and healing. I just want to know, do you think that's true? Have you ever used flowers as a healing? Do you think it heals you? And number 5, do you have a story or memory where flowers helped you or gave you happiness? Do you have a story or memory where flowers helped you or gave you happiness? That's the question I'm going to answer today. In my experience, I want to tell you about the first flowers I ever received as a present. And I was very shocked and surprised, and it made me really love this one flower. So it was at my graduation for elementary school. When I was graduating from elementary school, when I was a sixth grader, we went to my graduation ceremony, and after the ceremony, my grandmother, she gave me a gift of flowers, and the flowers were the flowers were a flower called birds of paradise, and I'm going to show you on the screen. Paradise flower. This flower is from Hawaii. It has a really unusual shape. It actually looks like a bird. Let me show you on the screen. Yeah, here we are. And yeah, so my grandmother gave me a plant, or like a bouquet, and it had maybe 2 or 3 of these, and they're just like a really beautiful flower. It looks like a bird that's flying away or something. It's a pretty strong flower too. The plant has a really thick sort of base, and it was just really beautiful, bright red and blue, and just a magnificent flower. And I never saw this flower before. So 2 points that were really nice for me is, one, I had never gotten flowers before as a present, so I was shocked and happy that I could hold flowers at my graduation, and other people could see me and say, wow, he's loved by his family or his grandmother. And number 2, the flower, I don't really remember seeing that flower before, so that was also really surprising, like this new unique flower that I got from my grandmother as a present. Since that moment, when somebody asks me, like, what's your favorite flower, I've always answered the Hawaiian flower, birds of paradise. I may have told some of you students that was my favorite flower too. It's those small moments, those presents that you can get that give you happiness, and they make a really big impact from family members. So I'll never forget that present from my grandmother, and ever since then, if somebody asks me my favorite flower, I always say birds of paradise. Okay, that's all for today's lesson. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really interested in your answers too, so please send me an email with your answers, or when you see me next, you can tell me your answers to the questions too. If you have any questions about the article, the grammar, or some words that I used, please ask me those too. I'd be happy to help answer anything. And yeah, I'm looking forward to all your answers, okay? I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.